Progress has become a religion. In its name, politicians, social engineers, and urban planners are reshaping the country. The sky is the limit. They believe they can alter nature. And displace entire populations. W.A.C. Bennett is Premier of British Columbia. He opens the interior to forestry and mining companies. He builds highways, launches huge hydroelectric projects. One of his mega projects is the damming of the Columbia River to generate power for the American market. The deal brings the province $275 million in its first 30 years.
Now, this is great for Canada and great for British Columbia. This is no sellout. This is a genuine good business deal.
But one of the dams threatens to flood 600 families, some whose ancestors settled there at the turn of the century.
If somebody could kill me off and the land would still be saved, I would very willingly finish my earthly day.
But they can do nothing against an all-powerful government. 2,500 men, women, and children must leave.
There was six of us fishing, and God's men you'll know. There was Elijah and Harry and James LeGros.
At the other end of the country, Newfoundland Premier Joey Smallwood is moving people too. The outports, small fishing villages all along the coast, are being closed down.
The 18th of May.
Entire villages take to the sea. The residents and their homes are being relocated in larger communities. Some 250 outports vanish, and 30,000 people are resettled.
I think we will get through better here, because it is work for the children.
I'm getting settled down now. We have a new home, and eventually I'll get a car. So if I hold my health, I'll be thankful.
This is our new land, and this is our new home. Everything will be okay. I'm quite contented now with what I'm going to do in any case. Quite contented with it. The old days is over.
Now they will have roads, electricity, and schools. But it is the end of a way of life that endured for centuries.
What can I do? I never worked on the land. I went on the water when I was 13 years old. Now I'm 60.
It's happening in cities too. In Toronto and Montreal, whole neighborhoods, mostly working class, are razed in the name of progress. In Halifax, it's the city's oldest black neighborhood that is targeted. Some families have been here for more than 150 years. Many are descendants of American slaves who fled north to Nova Scotia. Years of official neglect and racism have made Africville one of the worst slums in the country. The city decides the residents must be moved.
In terms of the physical conditions of buildings and sanitation, the story is deplorable. There are only two things to be said. The families will have to be rehoused in the future. The land, which they occupy, will be required for the future development of the city.
But to its people, Africville is a community. For young Terry Dixon, it is a warm and safe place.
Anywhere you go, anywhere you fall down, you hurt yourself, you don't have to go home. You just go to the nearest house and have that taken care of.
Africville's residents are not wealthy, but they are proud. Most believe that they own their land and the house in which they live.
You're in this country and you own a piece of property, you're not a second-class citizen.
But very few actually have a deed to prove their ownership. They are stunned when they learn they must leave. Halifax Mayor John Edward Lloyd justifies the city's decision by invoking the end of segregation and humanitarian reasons.
And sometimes some people need to be shown that certain things are not in their own best interest. What is being done in the total public interest, including the best welfare of these people themselves and their children.
The residents find out the city doesn't recognize their property claim. It offers most of them only symbolic compensation for their land and homes. Daisy Carvery, a mother of 5, is enraged.
They got the older people together because they simply knew that the older people didn't have any education. What is $500 to a 75-year-old Negro? He thinks he's rich. They took our homes. They moved us out of Africville. The city moved us out of Africville in the city garbage trucks.
Eventually, all had to leave. The last to go was 72-year-old Aaron Pa Carvery.
The day I left my home, part of me inside died. If I had been a little younger, the city would never have gotten my land.